Hey guys, welcome back to another review of a project that I'm pretty excited to talk about, which is Ian's valedictorian. I'm gonna, you know, with some own like feedback from my previous video in this style, I'm gonna try and be more animated and more direct and speak a little more confidently. So tell me if I'm getting better at this or not. But today we're talking about Ian's valedictorian. And Ian's a new artist that's in the underground space that kind of got his first notoriety from the song and the music video for the song Figure It Out. It went viral, and I personally think it's really catchy. It's the last song on this mixtape. And the music video is hilarious. It like features his whole family, which it kind of gives us a more personal and clearer look as to who Ian is. And I'd first heard of Ian from the song Dojour, Dojour? I don't know how you say it. Where, I instantly noticed some similarities that he has to other artists, like the ad-libs in that song. And a lot of his future songs, as in like the songs on this tape, are very reminiscent of Yeet, However, I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, he clearly wears his influences on his sleeves, and he's still growing as an artist, and he just started out, so I'm sure he'll find his style. So valedictorian is Ian's first full-length project, and I have to say I enjoyed it overall. I feel like it's a fun and bouncy mixtape. I feel like it's so hard to talk about music, and especially rank artists' work, because like, how can I put this mixtape on the same scale as more proper, full-length, well thought out albums by more, or artists who are going for something more creative, or trying something new, or some really high quality records, because this new wave of underground rap is just completely different. Like, you can look at this project and this style as lazy and low effort, which a lot of the time it is that, but I feel like this mixtape has something about it. Like, people used to think that music from the SoundCloud era was mindless, but this is just a whole new level, or at least this wave is. There's absolutely nothing to analyze about anything Ian says in the entire project, so I'm not gonna go like song by song dissecting what he's talking about or anything like that. This project is purely just flex music. It's just flex songs. There's nothing more to it. Underground is at a stage right now where I feel like the highlight of the record is not even, the artist, the rapper. They're not even the highlight of the songs that they make. It's almost like they use their voices and interweave it into the beat, like the production. And, the rapper or the words are just the parts as like that we as a listener, as an audience, can recite back, with the occasional funny or memorable line. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's just this new style. I appreciate that, it doesn't take itself too seriously, or at least some artists, or I find that in this case with Ian's valedictorian, it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's just simple. Like, it's just short, simple, fun project that gives us an idea of who Ian is and what to expect from artists like him. As I said, this music should not be taken too seriously. If you genuinely think this music is like garbage and trash, I think you're missing something. You're not understanding something. Like, if you genuinely just don't like the music but can recognize its purpose and what it's for, I think that's fine, and I understand that completely. But me personally, I'm in the boat of people who I understand what this project is for, and I'm that target audience. I do enjoy this project. Ian basically says absolutely nothing through this project. We talked about how it's just flex music, but I think the highlight of this project, or yeah, as I said before, is the production. The beats on this thing are just, they're just insane. Like Hermes Sheets and Omasake are just two of my favorites. The beats are super punchy and bouncy. Ian's full shtick is like, you have to go make money because money's not gonna come to you. And I have money. It's just all he talks about. And you know, I feel like the only more dissecting we can do into the lyrics is, you know, he does have some funny and memorable lines, like he says 3.5 in this wood look like Megan Thee Stallion's leg, or he says pockets fat as hell, they don't get much exercise. You know, that kind of stuff is, you know, the core of Ian's like vocal performance or his lyrical substance. There's nothing really much more to that. This album's, I mean, sorry if I called it album earlier. This mixtape's saving grace, I think, is how short it is. Only 10 tracks in length, and you know, a runtime of 19 minutes. This album is short and it's to the point, and that's what I appreciate about it the most. This entire project is produced by one producer, soprano, except for Chauncey, who was produced by Tana. Tana you might recognize. He's another artist in this underground space, but he usually raps. So this is something interesting that I haven't really noticed from him before, that he does, you know, some production. But you know, the only variation in this project comes from the producer, and it's not even that big of a difference between songs. But due to the short length of the project, I think that's perfectly fine. This is a huge issue that I had with projects like If Looks Could Kill by Destroy Lonely, where Lone is basically saying absolutely nothing throughout the whole project. He just says the same thing in the same flow, in the same cadence throughout the whole project. And there's no variation in flow and subject matter, which makes the runtime of an hour and like 20 minutes or whatever it is feel like an absolute slog. Like, I love the production on that project. It feels super grim and dark and muddy, and you know, the electric guitar is obviously a highlight for me. But like Destroy Lonely, the artist, he's the artist, he should be doing more. You know, he doesn't do anything to deserve that long runtime. Like, I seriously do really like that album, but you know, you could have cut off like 9-10 songs off of it, and it would have been like overall a much better project. So if Ian's able to switch up his style for longer projects and maybe have more substance in his, you know, in his lyrical game, or you know, or at least maybe a different subject matter, I could see myself a lot more excited for his next body of work. So in conclusion, I think comparing this mixtape and this style of genre is like, it's super difficult. Like, how do you compare this to anything on that wall up there? You know, it's just something that's completely, it serves a different purpose almost. For what it is, I think I'm gonna give Valedictorian by Ian a 6 out of 10. This project is just mindless, fun, flex music with super bouncy and punchy production, and I don't think that it should be looked as anything more than that. Alright, bye bye.